Celebrities. They're just like us, except for the good looks, the money, the fame, the opportunity, and the adjacency to reality they all seem to live in. But for some reason, we still love to watch them. And if celebrities are gonna go out and do charity events to raise money for good causes, then why not have it be motorsport? Imagine anyone from Keanu Reeves to George Lucas chucking a race car around a tight street circuit. Well, you don't have to imagine it, because for 40 years, Toyota hosted a pro celebrity race at the Grand Prix of Long Beach, and it was wild. Not only was it one of the best ways to showcase how good pros were against non-pros, it was something enthusiasts could get their whole families to watch. This series fielded some of the biggest stars, biggest insurance risks, and even some of the most unexpected talents I've ever seen in motorsport. Stars would get hyper competitive, and some even got banned from ever competing again. It was entertaining, unpredictable, and whether you realize it or not, I think it's something that's sorely missed in the motorsport world. So let's explore the wild world of the Toyota Pro Celebrity races.
On board with Queen Latifah. Into turn number 3, understeer, locks it up and into the tire wall.
The Toyota Pro Celebrity race ran from 1977 to 2016. It was a support race and a spectacle every year at the Grand Prix of Long Beach.
Celebrities would race on this very track in front of grandstands full of people here to watch the IndyCar race.
Here's how it worked. About a dozen celebrity amateur drivers with pretty much zero racing experience were put into a TRD-built, roll-caged version of Toyota's entry-level sports car of the era, starting in the 70s with the Celica and ending with the Scion FRS. Celebrities took the green flag 30 seconds ahead of a gaggle of pros in the same cars. It was then a 10-lap chase to see if the celebrities could stay ahead of the pros. And these were pros, by the way, from the highest levels of motorsport. Past entries included legendary names like Dan Gurney, Sam Posey, Parnelli Jones, Unser Jr., Bobby Rahal, and Scott Pruitt. And on the celeb side, we're talking actual A-list stars. Clint Eastwood, Matt LeBlanc, Adrien Brody, Michelle Rodriguez, John Elway, Aisha Tyler, and even William Shatner. But like a Priceline era William Shatner, not a Star Trek era William Shatner. A heart-pounding finish was guaranteed every time. Some celebrities would panic with fast cars coming up behind them and would cause major chaos. Some would let their egos get in the way and also cause major chaos. Some would actually turn out to be really decent drivers and fall in love with motorsport because of events like this. The biggest thing is that whether it was Josh Brolin, Allison Hannigan, or Buzz Aldrin, the celebrities weren't given any kind of handicap other than that start advantage. These cars were purpose-built race cars with manual transmissions, tuned suspension, exactly like the pros. In my opinion, this is far more entertaining and less performative than some charity golf tournament. This was real racing, and for Toyota to pull this off, the buy-in from celebrities was key. If they agreed to participate, these personalities had to invest in the entire process, including 8 days of fully immersive driver training at Willow Springs International Raceway. Danny McKeever, owner of Fastlane Racing School, trained each year's competitors since 1985. Every year, he'd take a group of celebrities worthy of the tabloid front page and turn them into racers. Most had never set foot on a racetrack, and some had never even driven stick. The series used Toyota Celicas until 2005, when they switched to the Scion TC. Like the Celicas, these TCs were equipped with all the safety gear a race car would require, crammed in around the original factory interior. And just to make sure the drivers weren't too underwhelmed, the TCs had the TRD supercharger. The engine was putting out 200 horsepower, but it was still reliable and able to stand up to abuse. Basically, this thing could survive any celebrity, no matter how bad they were. These were purpose-built race cars specifically designed for the Toyota Pro Celebrity race by Toyota. By 2013, the series had finally switched over to rear-wheel drive with the Scion FRS. And every era of these cars, the Celicas and the Scions, were so legit, the surviving ones are still used today for SCCA licensing and training. But despite the commitment from these drivers, 8 days is not a lot of professional motorsport experience, and plenty of celebrities had egos bigger than their wheeling abilities.
Oh, big trouble for Matt LeBlanc. LeBlanc straight into the guardrail.
Pretty much every year, the event was full of wild moments and crashes. In the final year, 2016, Boondock Saints star Sean Patrick Flannery crashed into a stationary car under a local yellow, launching it into a Marshall. In 2010, during a heated race, singer Jesse McCartney crashed on lap 7. While stopped against a tire barrier, another driver T-boned him, and that car erupted into flames. Don't worry, everybody was fine. Former winner Donny Osmond, ask your mom, flipped his car in 1999, and in 2015, Mekhi Phifer crashed twice. After earning pole position in the 2011 race, True Blood star Stephen Moyer crashed at turn 1, and HBO promptly banned him from future races. But one of the most spectacular crashes was in 2007. That was when George Lucas, who famously nearly died in a car accident when he was 18, tempted fate yet again by trying to pull off a daring pass. He clipped the car he was passing and then crashed into the barriers and was hit head-on by the car he had tried to pass. George Lucas was unharmed, once again surviving a dangerous race car crash. Despite the very real risk, the races continued to draw willing celebs, many of whom became die-hard motorsports fans after competing, and some went on to become actual pro drivers. Gene Hackman had always had an interest in motorsport, competing in Formula Ford in the 70s. In 1980, he won the Toyota Pro Celebrity race, and 3 years later, drove for Toyota at the 24 Hours of Daytona. Jason Bateman, who won in 1987 as an 18-year-old, was bitten hard by the motorsport bug, and probably would have done a lot more racing had he not flipped his racer the next year in the SCCA Race Truck Challenge in Pennsylvania. Patrick Dempsey finished second in 2006 and then went on to have a career in World Challenge and eventually the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Honestly, he's probably known more now as a racer than he is for Grey's Anatomy. Frankie Muniz started his career in 2004 in one of these Toyotas and won his race in 2005. 20 years later, he is a NASCAR driver, having competed in the Xfinity Series and now the Craftsman Truck Series.
This is honestly one of the most amazing things I've ever done. You know, this is my 4th year doing it, and some of my favorite memories are doing this race.
Olympic swimmer Darra Torres told Haggerty in 2021, "As soon as I finished my race, I started thinking, how can I get back into this again?" She returned to win her race in 2002. Adam Carolla called it the most fun you're ever going to have in your life. And the winningest celebrity across the decades, well, that would be none other than Carlton from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, who took the checkered flag 4 times. Actor Alfonso Ribeiro actually won back-to-back in 1994 and 1995, prompting Toyota to change the rules and require past celebrities to re-enter on the pro side if they wanted to race again, which he did, winning again in 2015. In the short term, these celebrities did a decent amount of good, raising $2.5 million for charity across the 40 years. But beyond that, these charity races had the potential to spark a love of motorsport and maybe even an entire motorsports career.
I said if you pass me
during the race,
I might have to give up racing.
As Steve Jobs once said, people don't know what they want until you show it to them. And that's genuinely how I feel about our partner for today's video, Oslo Sleep. These little buddies right here are the Oslo Sleep Buds, a ridiculously comfortable pair of noise-masking earbuds that could be just the ticket to the best sleep of your life. 3 key things to know, okay? They pump a variety of science-backed sleep sounds into your ear holes with or without your phone. They've got a 10-hour battery life and super soft silicone construction so you can wear them all night, with a range of sizes if you have weirdly small ears like me. But the best part, and this has genuinely blown the minds of everyone I've talked to about it, you can use them as regular headphones to stream whatever sends you off to dreamland. Movies, TV, podcasts, hopefully not this video, because the Sleep Buds have built-in biometric sensors to detect when you fall asleep, pause whatever you're playing, and switch over to your chosen sleep sounds. Listen, we get a lot of stupid pitches to hawk things on the channel, but this isn't one of them. These things work. And like Stevie said, sometimes you just have to see something to realize it's what you've been missing. So get the best sleep of your life by scanning the QR code on screen, clicking the link in my description, or using the code TDRVE to get $10 off your pair of Oslo Sleep Buds. Speaking of what you've been missing, let's get back to the video.
So, as much as these races were quirky and fun, why should we have them back? Despite the crashes and the lack of experience and the gimmick of it all, I do think these races had pretty much everything that makes for good motorsport. It had unpredictability and it showcased true talent. Pros had to navigate a field of amateur drivers which could be just as thrilling as a wet weather race. It also had built-in personalities. Now, that might not be important to a good race, but it's important to a good series. Across all of motorsport, fans complain when the drivers aren't able to be themselves, either due to politics or regulations. We're seeing it now with the FIA's swearing fines, and a series like Formula One saw a huge boost in viewership with the introduction of Drive to Survive on Netflix, a series that literally shows the drivers as personalities.
Suck my balls.
Now I know that not everybody wants that for the series that they are a fan of, and that's all the more reason to have a specific place designed to operate around the kind of reality TV energy that this gives. Forget Dancing with the Stars, let's have Driving with the Stars. Let's have a place where celebrities can explore motorsport, audiences can be introduced to motorsport, and pro drivers that we all love can be showcased in front of a world audience. The main reason the Pro Celebrity Race went away in the first place is because the Grand Prix of Long Beach is now no longer run by Toyota. It's now run by Acura. I'm sure any other manufacturer could take up the mantle in a similar way, but no brand has ever committed to something like this as wholeheartedly as Toyota did. They built bespoke race cars pretty much just for this series.
While the celebrity races don't currently exist, the type of cars still do. Toyota is still fielding entry-level race cars in this GR Cup series. This is essentially the kind of car that would have been run for the Toyota Celebrity Race. In fact, it's so similar that winners of the Toyota Celebrity Race have been seen in this very grid, including Keanu Reeves and Rutledge Wood.
Last year, Keanu Reeves got behind the wheel of a GR Cup car at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I know, I was there. I stuck a camera in his face. Now, the GR Cup series is intensely competitive, and John Wick finished both races outside the top 20, but it shows that over a decade later, that love of motorsport is still there. This year, Rutledge Wood is joining the series. We reached out to him after his first race in COTA in April to see how it compares to the old Celebrity Race. The competition level with the GR Cup is so insanely higher than the Celebrity Races. You know, the people that I'm up against, some of them have been racing their entire lives, and it's really evident in what they can do. But I do wish they could bring the Celebrity Race back, and I think it'd be cool if they had them in the GR Cup cars. It's too early to tell if Keanu and Rutledge directly affected the GR Cup popularity, but the media coverage was higher, public engagement was elevated, and Keanu has a documentary about his experience in the GR Cup called Racing Grit. I call him Keanu now, and he calls me nothing, because he has no idea who I am. The point is, we like characters. There's very little difference between rooting for Spider-Man and rooting for Charles Leclerc. You're invested in them, and they both are equally heartbreaking. So the world of motorsport can only benefit from creating stars. And one of the best ways to create those stars just might be to bring in stars. When Les Unger became Toyota's national motorsports manager in 1984, he spearheaded making this race a must-see event. And it was. It brought out many fans to watch both on TV and in person.
Whoa, he almost lost it, but great recovery.
The Toyota Celebrity Race has a fun, rich history, but it shouldn't be left to the annals of time. And neither should these cars. Fastlane Racing School acquired these cars after Toyota was done with each successive model. Plenty have been sold off over the years and ended up in SCCA, NASA, Lemons, and Chump Car. Pretty much any entry-level wheel-to-wheel series they are fit for. Look, I'm a Toyota fanboy at heart, and I would love to see them bring this series back, but who do you think should take a swing at celebrity racing? Honda? Ford? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and Kyle will be back in 2 weeks with another video.